In. My name is Dr. Chukwulivinus, and I am going to be handling you on this course on data analysis. And today we'll be looking at the introductory part of data analysis. And then in this lesson, we have our learning targets. One of our learning targets is to improve our understanding of statistical analysis and concepts in data analysis. We'll also be trying to build skills in basic data analysis, which includes setting targets and conducting some hypotheses. These are part of statistical analysis. And then the third target we have in our learning process is to enhance our skills in data interpretation and data visualization. And then I believe that in this lesson we have our learning objectives, and then one of our learning objectives is to have an overview of what data analysis is all about, and what are the importance of data analysis, what are the processes that involve data analysis, and what are types of data analysis. We'll also be engaging ourselves in some exploratory data analysis. This could be descriptive statistical analysis and also inferential statistical analysis. And then there are some important information that is required in our training course, and this involves some theoretical foundation of what data analysis is all about. And we are also going to develop a practical knowledge about data analysis, and you will have a final project to carry out. It is the outcome of your final project that will determine the outcome of your learning process. So there are some of the tools we are going to use in our training, and one of the tools we are going to use in our training is Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. So we are going to use some advanced functions in Microsoft Excel spreadsheet in analyzing some data, and then we'll also be using a high statistical programming software known as R programming software to also conduct some data analytics, and also an R Studio. So these R programming software and R Studio, they are free software, so you can download it and try as much as you could to identify your operating system and download, the tools that commensurate with your operating systems, that is compatible to your operating system. So the first thing we need to consider in our training process is, what is data analysis? Data analysis is the process of cleaning, changing, and processing raw data and extracting relevant information that helps businesses or organizations to make informed decisions. First, look at the word data and then analysis. Analysis is like investigation. When you want to make investigation about a particular concept, you conduct analysis. If there are some certain things that you are looking for, maybe it could be a budget, you try to conduct a feasibility studies in order to find out what are the things involved in conducting the project. So this is part of analysis, but in our case, we are looking at data. And when you talk about data in this concept, we have already some knowledge in our high school on what data analysis is all about, or maybe in your undergraduate courses what data is all about. But in this case, we are looking at extracting data from different sources and then try to pre-process the data. And remember, data talks about raw facts. Okay, so where do we get these raw facts, and how do we clean these raw facts? Can we make some relevant information from it? Is there some informed decisions we can also make from whatever information we have already gotten? And another thing you must also understand about data analysis is that the procedure helps you to reduce the risk of making some decisions that may hamper the growth of your business or your organization. It also provides some useful insights due to some of the statistical processes that are involved. You can be able to find out some patterns, and then some information which may be hidden in the data. So statistics helps you in the analytical process. And then because we will be deploying some statistical algorithms that will help us to find out some certain hidden patterns in the process. And then the next is there are some certain visualization. This could be in form of charts, it could be in tables, and also it could be in form of graphs. So you can be able to find out that an overall insight about what is happening in the organizations, and then you can be able to make an informed decision about the process. There are some importance of data analysis, and one of the importance of data analysis is that it helps to make better customer targeting. Now, if you are trying to make an advert, you need actually a target audience or target customers. And the essence of data analysis is to give you some insight on how you can be able to know your audience and target your advertising to your audience. And number two is that it also helps you to track how well your products and your campaigns are performing within your target demographic. Now, this demographic in quote here involves, what are the, gender, it could be a population, it could be, incomes, it could be, some certain birth age range, and then the births and then age range. So you can be able to find out how, your products and your campaigns are performing within your target demographic. So you need to first of all identify your audience, and this your audience is your demography. Are there some genders you are trying to focus on in your campaign? And then are there some age range you are looking forward for those particular targets? So this is why data analysis is very, very important. And through data analysis, you can also know how better your business ideas is growing, and also your audience, what are some of the habits they are developing. And this is part of data analytical process. Most times there are some certain part of data analysis we call recommendation systems. If you've been able to buy products from Amazon or eBay, or you've been able to be taking some training or tutorials or watching movies through Netflix or YouTube, you discover that when you are subscribing or watching some certain programs, after some time you discover that there are some recommendations of a similar programs that will also be provided for you. So these things talks about the habits, similarities, some interests, some of the areas that the customer or the person involved is trying to find a utility, derivation. So they try to profile some certain recommendation to you. So you discover that these are also part of data analysis. These data also help some businesses. They can set prices. They can also know how long the campaigns can also be, and also even how the projects and the number of goods or products that are needed to be produced. So these are some of the importance. And another one is it also helps in solving problems. That's a good problem solving method. So informed decisions are more likely to be successful decisions, and that provides a useful information to businesses. Data analysis can also help businesses to acquire some relevant information that is suitable to develop the future marketing strategies and also some of the business plans, and try to realign the company's visions and missions. So we discovered that with data analysis, businesses can also know whether they are in track together with the vision of the company, with the goals of the company, and they can easily look back and find out how the business is actually performing. Data analysis also shows some of the areas in your businesses that money is needed, resources, maybe human capital, financial resources and other things, and then you can also try to scale back and eliminate some certain waste that are being that are being visualized in the business. So these are some of the outliers. You can be able to find out, are we actually making some waste in the business, and how do we also eliminate some waste in the business? So data analysis gives you some important information about that. So what are the processes that are involved in data analysis? There are different processes that are involved in data analysis, and the first processes that are involved in data analysis is, gathering the required data. You need to ask yourself, why am I doing this analysis? What type of data do I need in the analysis process, and how do I also analyze my data? And then the next process involves is data collection. So with this now, with the first particular process, you can now know, where do I need to get the data? What are the sources? Can the sources be from case studies? Could it be also from surveys? Could it be interviews or questionnaires, or from direct observations? Could it be from a particular focus group? So you see, these are the processes: first, gathering of the required data, data collection, and the third one is the cleaning of the data. So cleaning of the data is, you are now trying to find out that there are some white spaces, that there are some duplicates, that there are some missing data. So you are trying to find out all those information, and then you are trying also to clean the data and make sure that the quality of the data is very, very okay for your analysis. And the fourth process is data analysis. Here we use some statistical analytical tools in order to interpret and get a better understanding of the data. Those tools could be Microsoft Excel, it could be Python, it could be R, it could be Looker, RapidMiner, Chatio, Metabase, Redash, Microsoft Power BI, it could be IBM SPSS, and a lot of tools outside there you can also use for your analysis. And then the next one is interpretation of your data. You need to get the results of your data, and not just the results. What are the best courses of action from your findings? And the last part of data analysis process is data visualization. So you are trying to make some graphical representation of the interpreted data, so that people can be able to understand and compare what are some of the valuable insights that are gained. Are there some relationships that exist? Are there some redundancies from the data sets? So data visualization is the last process of data analysis. There are different types of data analysis. The first one is one we call diagnostic analysis. In diagnostic analysis, we are trying to answer some questions of why things happen. Okay, so you are trying to gain an insight from statistical analysis and to find out what are some of the patterns that are involved in the data, and are there some similar patterns that exist in the past? What are the consequences, and are there some solutions in order to resolve some of the present challenges that are present, and then hopefully. Then the next type of data analysis is the one we call predictive analysis. And in predictive analysis, we are trying to answer the questions of what is most likely to happen. Here now we are trying to be using the patterns that we have found in the diagnostic process, and then trying to study the current events, make some predictive or future events, and then why there's no such thing as 100% accurate. We are trying to make some forecasting and try to improve some of the odds and get a lot of plenty information. And not only that, the discipline to research, and it is very, very important for researchers. So predictive analysis is used majorly for forecasting. So you study the past event and use it to make some future analysis, or predict some of the future events that may happen. We have also the one we call prescriptive analysis, and in prescriptive analysis we are trying to use the gained insights and other data analysis types. You are using some of the things you have already gained to also make some multiple insights. Okay, so for prescriptive analysis, we say that mix all the insight gains from other analysis and you have prescriptive analysis. And sometimes an issue can be solved solely with one analysis. So most times you are trying to make some prescription based on all the already gathered information you have. We have other ones like statistical analysis, and this involves what happened. You are trying to analyze data collected. You analyze this, make some models and interpret the results and make some dashboards. Okay, And statistical analysis involves two processes. One could be descriptive, which is summary statistics, and one could be inferentials, which is sample derived from the complete data. And we have the last one, which we call test analysis. And in test analysis, we are trying to analyze unstructured and semi-structured test data for valuable insights, trends, and patterns. Now, in this, when we talk about structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data, you are talking about some data that are not predefined. Okay, this could be emails, HTML documents, and then you are talking about tables, XML, that's extensible markup languages, and other things. So we are trying to make some insights and get some valuable meaning and trends from those particular written tests. So how and where do we get data? Number one is we get data from statistics, from service delivery, census, surveys, evaluations, sentinel surveillance, and budget information. So there are these are different. There are other places you can get information too. So you can source for them. You can get it even in marketplaces, online, a lot of places, webs, and so on and so forth. So there are differences between data and information. Data simply means symbols that have potential values. They are raw facts. Information means processed data. So in this training, there are some things you need to ask yourself. Who analyzes and interprets data in your organization? I want you to think about this and then provide the answer. We can use data to inform policies and plans, raise additional resources, strengthen programs, and improve results. You can also use it to ensure accountability and reporting, improve quality of services provided, contribute to global lessons that are learned. And I believe that this is just the introductory part. In this lesson, you will be able to find out some of the ways we analyze data, learn some of the important functions that we can use to perform a very powerful analysis, and also create some beautiful data visualization for your audience. Thank you once again for your time. Looking forward